Hello! Today I want to talk about the true cost of the things that we purchase. And I will do this while I make my favorite vegetarian meats or meat substances that are also soy and grain free. So our stuff costs us way more than the amount of money that we initially spent. And I think that it is important to keep that in mind when we purchase something new or when we make the decision to bring an extra item into our homes and into our lives. And not everything is worth the real price. And sometimes it's even more costly efficient to let go of the things even if we initially spend a lot of money on it. If we don't use it, if it doesn't make us happy, the cost of keeping it is probably going to keep on adding up. So what is the true cost? What do we forget when we only look at the price tag? Well, we pay things with our time, not with our money. We have to work certain hours, weeks, months, and even years to buy something. And it may be as small as a coffee or as big as a car or a house. So we give time of our lives in order to get things, and that time we will never get back. Joshua Becker has a very good video about this, and he actually calculated the average time it cost us to buy certain things, and I will put the link of his video in the description below if you're interested. I personally find that this is the most important price we pay, and that time is the most important asset. In my eyes, it is worth way more than any object. Although, of course, we need some things and we also can really enjoy some of the things we have, time can never be replaced. So it's important to keep that in mind when we are thinking about buying something new. And then of course on top of that, we also need to invest time of maintaining our items, cleaning and dusting every object, every closet that we use to store our stuff in. And if we don't do this properly, it can even irritate our lungs, and especially for those of us who are struggling with allergies, it can cost us also a bit of our health too. Stuff also costs us our space. Not only in terms of the rent we have to pay or the mortgage on our homes, but also space we could have used for meditating or just clearing our heads out, relaxing with nothing bothering us in our sight, in our head. So it actually also cost us our focus and concentration. And this was something that I really noticed when I stayed at my mother's home for a couple of months. And she really loves decoration and has filled every wall with stuff and things. And although I'm happy that she loves it, for me it was unbearable to concentrate or to get things done because subconsciously my eyes were drawn to the things and it was so difficult to focus on the thing I wanted to focus on because the stuff around me just kept asking for my attention. Every time I would just blink my eyes, or it was always in the corner or something, and it's not consciously, just subconsciously. It costs way more energy to concentrate in a room that is filled with stuff. And focus is actually also a high price to pay because we all have things that we rather want to do. Things like starting a business, learn a new language, be more present for a friend in need, make art, play music, cook healthy, meditate, or you name it. We all have something that we like to dedicate our attention, focus, and clarity on, and that is just so much easier in an empty space. So we also pay a price for our concentration to do all of those things when we are surrounded by a lot of objects. And then of course there's more money. Some objects require money to maintain or obtain it. This can be anything from storage spaces, buying extra closets, or to repair the closets we have or the stuff we have. And I noticed that especially vehicles cost a lot of extra money. And it's not to say that we should not have those kinds of things, but it's just to be aware that it costs more than the initial price when we purchased it and brought it into our home. Stuff also brings in more stuff. Sometimes we need stuff for stuff, especially electronics need a lot of extra stuff, like special screen cleaners, cables, batteries, USB plugins, you name it. It always tends to need more. So we bring in more stuff into our homes to maintain our stuff. And lastly, it can also cost us our moods and emotions. Think about all those times that we regretted spending our hard-earned money and the financial worries, the ever-rising bills and debts, the worries of moving the stuff when we have to move or selling it, making arrangements, finding people to help, and the worries of our imprint on the environment, especially when we brought in something but we actually don't like it and we want to get rid of it again. Sometimes stuff has a negative association that we always feel when we look at it, and this can all affect how we feel and our mood, and it can even bring stress with it. So, yeah, to end this up, our things always cost us so much more than the initial price that we pay for it. And it is definitely something that I have experienced a lot, and I felt so much lighter when I had less. I'm very curious to hear your experiences with the cost of stuff, the real cost, and I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time again.